Hello everybody, welcome to Walk That Talk. My name is Mtweni Peterson, and today, as you can see, we are at the courtyard, Vera Vita in Johannesburg South. Guys, this venue is stunning. Whether you're thinking of a daytime, a lunchtime with friends, or you're thinking of a dinner date with your loved one, this place is the place to be, with reasonable prices, with very delicious food and a friendly staff, and there is parking available as well for your car, and it is a very safe establishment. I can definitely guarantee you for that. They do cater for a number of events that you want to host, whether you want to host a baby shower, whether you want to host an event for your company or a team building. They do have the venue for that. All that you need to do is contact the number below that you're seeing on the screen, and please make sure that you reach out to them well in advance so that you can be able to reserve your spot. Thank you very much. Now let's dive in. Today we are going to be talking about something that I don't usually talk about, and simply because it is a very touchy subject, it is a very personal story of mine that I did not want anybody to know about. But seeing that it's 2025, guys, and most of you guys will be going to university, and I don't want you to now get to experience what I've experienced. Or better yet, if you do experience what I've experienced, I want you to now take it with a different perspective. And yes, we will be talking about Peterson dropping out of University of Pretoria. And this is a story that only a few individuals know about. And I want to make this disclaimer. I do not condone anybody dropping out of university. I do not condone anybody giving up, but I'm just saying to anybody that is having a difficult time in university, somebody who is struggling to make a very difficult decision, because that decision was one of the best decisions of my life. My story doesn't start in 2019 when I dropped out. It starts off in 2005 when I started my schooling in grade 1 in Komba Primary School. I've always been a very bright student. I've always gotten all the awards. I've been a very good student with all the good grades, and I've been an academic. I've been a teacher's favorite. I've done drum majorettes. I've participated in all school activities, including running. But as you can see, I am not Usain Bolt as yet, so it means that was not my path. But I've always tried to dabble in a few things in school, just like any other person who wants to try out a few things so that you can be able to balance school and extramural activities. From grade 1, I've always been nominated as a prefect. And I'm not sure if it's because they've seen all the leadership qualities in Peterson, or just simply because of the handsome face that you are seeing over here. And that, more than anything, it gave me confidence. And that's where it began for me. The name Peterson started off in 2017. But before then, I've always been Mtweni Tisetso, from 2005 up until 2016. From primary up until high school, to now going into university. To be quite honest, if you've seen the movie with Kevin Hart, where he was now deemed most likely to succeed, and that, if you can think of it, I was that person. I was deemed most likely to succeed. From being president in my high school, from being secretary, and having several positions in the SRC. I was that guy. I was very bright. I was a very bright student, and my future was very bright. I matriculated in the year 2016 with 2 distinctions. I was very disappointed, to be quite honest, because I had expected a lot from myself, especially with so many of the subjects that I was doing well in school, especially in high school as well. But when the matric results came out, I had the shock of my life. And this could be you. You have just matriculated and you are feeling a bit down. Please do not despair. This is not the end of your career. Can I be honest? It is only the beginning. If there's one advice that I would like to give each and every single one of you guys, is to read a book called Why A Students Work For, C Students and B Students Work For the Government. It is a very simple concept that explains why A students don't necessarily make it in the world of work. We think we are bright, we think we know it all, and that's what happened to me. In my first year, I had gotten 3 bursaries. I had JuniorTukkie bursary, I had the GCAR bursary, I had Solomon Mahlangu as well. Funding was available from the studies, from paying my tuition, from paying accommodation, and the meals as well. But coming on from Hammanskraal, guys, was something that I needed to shake off from myself. And that journey was very exciting for me. I had now went into a residential area where I was staying in a mixed race. There were females and there were males in that particular residence. Most of you can definitely relate to this, where you know that your parents are not there to see anything that you are doing, where your parents are not there to monitor you, to remind you that you need to do your homeworks, that you need to focus on your school. Yes, that was my desire, that was my focus, that was what I needed to do when I got there. But let me be very honest with you guys. When you get to university, you come off from different families, from different backgrounds. And one of my biggest challenges was expressing myself in English. That was very, very, very difficult for me. I couldn't speak English properly, but yes, I could write English properly. My English grades were very good, but expressing myself in English was a very difficult task. That was the first challenge that I had to overcome. I had to make sure that I make friends with the right people as well. Different students coming off from different backgrounds. They had different lives, and there were cheese boys, and there were some of us from Hammanskraal, where your parents are simply saying, you are the hope of this particular family. And being the first to go to university, being the first to pass matric and to go to university was a very exciting thing for me. And remember guys, being the first to do anything comes with a bit of a challenge. And I've always wanted to make my parents proud, but that comes with a bit of pressure. And let me be honest, the pressure did get to me. I really crumbled when the pressure got very tough. I lost focus. My first year was very difficult because the first thing that I had to be challenged with, the course that I had applied for was biological science and agriculture and architect. I don't know why. I didn't even love that course, but because I did not want to stay at home to just sit around and do nothing. But to be quite honest, I was very confused. I did not know what is it that I wanted to study. I was not sure, and it was not even my passion. But let's be honest, you just want to get out of the hood. And if this is you listening to this video right now, please sit down and think about it. We did receive career advice, guys, but that one day when you visit the university is not going to be enough. You need to sit down, you need to think about your life, and you need to also introspect. If I knew then what I know now, I would be at a different spot in my life. And this could be you right now. In grade 7, I wanted to be a doctor. In grade 10, I wanted to be a scientist. What is it that a scientist does? I don't even know. But just the idea of having a fancy title and doing something that sounds very exciting and fancy was the idea that I had going into Varsity. When I applied, I had only applied to the University of Pretoria because it was closer to home as well. It is in Hatfield and I'm from Pretoria. I knew that I don't want to go to TUT because for me it wasn't a university that I wanted to really go to. And the choice of the university was simply because of the people that I'm acquainted with. There is a lady in my area, and she's more of a sister. Her name is Stefina Mahlangu, who went to the University of Pretoria as well, who studied law. She assisted me to apply, and there's also Presley, we call him General. He was a very bright student, and he also went to the University of Pretoria. There was Mashadi Mulomu, her brother also, who went to the University of Pretoria. There was also Biko and a number of people that I also knew from my area and from my school who went to the University of Pretoria. I got influenced to also apply at the University of Pretoria because I knew that the cream of the crop from my area and from my school went into that particular university. What is it that I wanted to study? I wasn't even sure. But because the people that were considered the best students in my area, in my school, they went to that particular university, then I got influenced to also apply and go to that specific university. I then got accepted at the University of Pretoria, and I was very excited. And I made sure that on the first day that we were going into the residence, I packed my bags and I went there. And to be quite honest, guys, it's embarrassing to say, but I was the first person to move in with my dear a former roommate, Kuhle, who was very focused. And at times he used to irritate me because all he did is wanted to study. Because the idea of university that I had, guys, going into the university, I thought I was going to live a life that I've always seen on college movies. Think about Project X, that's what I thought I was going to do when I go to university. But trust me, life had something different for me. From attending classes, from making friends, from roaming around the university, from wanting to, try out different things, whether clubbing and all of that, that definitely steered my focus away from what I had intended to do when I got there. Then I got hit by a harsh reality. And I've always been exposed to the University of Pretoria, and that's why I've always chosen University of Pretoria as a university of my choice, because I had always attended JuniorTukkie. I'm sure some of you guys know what JuniorTukkie is. It is a winter school program where they take math and science students to the University of Pretoria in June or July during the school holidays as well. So we used to go there. We used to attend the programs with Investec, and thanks a lot to Mr. Nicolette Mashile, who was part of the CSI project that also sponsored the camping programs that we used to attend at the University of Pretoria. And I knew from the onset that this is the university that I wanted to attend. From seeing all the beautiful cafeterias, from seeing all the auditoriums, I knew that the University of Pretoria was the right choice for me. Now, fast forward to going into the university, life has become a bit very interesting, to be quite honest. From making new friends, from seeing all these new places. So one of the other challenges that I also had to come across was the fact that now I was placed in an extended program at the University of Pretoria, but we were placed in Mamelodi, and I always wanted to be at Hatfield. So that for me was something that I was not trying to tell people about, to say, guys, I'm at the University of Pretoria, but I'm doing an extended program. Because for me, that was a bit embarrassing to say, why me? Why am I here? Why am I not in Hatfield with the cream of the crop? But I think that was really preparing me for the real life, because to be quite honest, I was not ready for Hatfield. And at that time, Hatfield looked very different from what it is right now. I had made friends with a couple of people that really showed me around. I've made friends with a couple of people that really changed my life. From Bregza, Loazi, there's a number of people, Sims, Debza. Yeah, there's a lot. I think I've made a couple of friendships, and I think, to be quite honest, like my dear friend Lechonolo would say, it is important that every person gets a chance to at least be exposed to going to uni, like he calls it. Because when you go there, guys, you meet different people from all walks of life. And it is important for you to be exposed to that particular life, because there is a lot outside of the hood, guys, to be quite honest. There is a lot of things that you're going to see. There are a number of people that you're going to come across as well. It could be your life partner, it could be friends, it could be acquaintances, it could be associates, it could be business partners that you are going to meet at the university. So please do apply, even if it's just for the experience. I know this sounds a bit crazy, but I can definitely assure you that going to university will definitely broaden your mind, and it will open your mind to ideas, and you will see that there is a world outside of Hammanskraal, outside of Social Guve, outside of Seshehu, or whatever small area that you come from. And even if you're from the suburbs, guys, then you at least get exposed to the life that you did not live as well, from the individuals that you're going to come across, and from the friendships that you are going to make as well. University of Pretoria was a very interesting time for me. When I got there, I used to stay at Savannah Estate, where we were housed at, with staying in a mixed race with boys and girls, trying to befriend everybody and wanting to be the cool kid. For some reason, people had the idea of Peterson is a chess boy, obviously because of the drip, but I think that is where my confidence stems from. But I was not the person that people thought I was. But I kept on that facade, and I think trying to put up that image was my downfall, because I wanted to always look fresh and have the freshest clothes, simply because people thought I was a particular person that I was not. And that led to my downfall. From attending lectures and skipping lectures, I think I wasn't aware that this is where things are going to spiral out of control. I was failing dismally. There was this other lady called Ida Meyer. Those of you that went to University of Pretoria in Mamelodi campus, you would know that when things are tough, you would approach Ida Meyer to go and see that lady and see how is it that you can be able to get assistance, whether from advice or whatever the case may be. But Ida Meyer really tried to play a role, but we still failed. Did I study? I did not study enough, to be quite honest, guys. I was skipping classes. I did not even have all the textbooks that I was supposed to have. And it is important, guys, that when you go to the university, you focus on your own lane. You focus on why is it that you are there. And also, it is important that you also make friends with the right people. People that are going to help you to study. People that are going to form a study group. And people that are there focusing on the right things as well. Yes, you can have your friends where you rock and all of that. But guys, remember, you are there to study. Be reminded that you are coming from a particular situation that you are trying to come out of, where your parents are saying, focus. And I do regret each and every minute of it. And I think going into my second year, I passed with my daughter's score, like some people would say. I done my second year, and now I am ready to go to Heathrow. Life has suddenly become very, very, very interesting. When I got there, I met a new group of people. I was staying in my own room where I did not share a room with anybody. There was no one that made me feel guilty that I was not studying. There was no one to check up on me whether I've done my assignments or not. And thanks to Kuke, he was my accountability partner, and I did not have that anymore now that I'm in my second year. But this is where now things really took a nose deep, and I think this is where things really took a sharp turn. I used to study, but I did not study enough. I used to do my assignments, but I did them on last minute. And that is one of the contributing factors to why is it that I failed university. I had recently started working at the University of Pretoria at the Mining Engineering Study Center as a help desk assistant. Most of my time was spent in that area, but I also forgot why is it that I was there, because I wanted to make some money of my own. So I was in love with the idea of now making money. Then I had forgotten why is it that I'm at the university. I had now forgotten to study. I had now forgotten that I am there to study and get my degree. Yes, I did not enjoy what I was studying. I did not love what I was studying. I also didn't have a plan after studying my degree or completing my degree. But I studied because there were funds available. And that is wrong, guys. I am a full-time student, and I am now working full-time at the University of Pretoria as a help desk assistant. A majority of my time is spent assisting other people coming into the University of Pretoria to also use the library, especially engineering students. And that took away my attention from the actual goal. Guys, friends can definitely lie to you. They can deceive you, but at the end of the day, you are the one that has to make all those tough decisions. But I did not have a backbone. I couldn't say no. Everywhere where I was invited, I would go. Every last minute invitation, I would definitely say yes. I did not put myself first, and that was very wrong of me. I was now, very confused, and I think the idea of making money has definitely taken over. There were days where I used to skip classes as well. And I knew very well that I was going to fail. There was a time where I was also excluded, and I had to apply for an appeal. I was given a second chance, and I had to continue with my studies, but I knew that I was skating on thin ice. But dropping out was the best decision of my life. It is now fast approaching November, December, and I had just recently seen a video of Nicolette Mashile speaking about her journey after dropping out of the university. I did not have a plan, to be quite honest. All that I knew was that I am going to drop out of the University of Pretoria, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. But I knew I'm going to my aunt's place, and the plan was to go to my aunt's place and visit for about 2 weeks, but 2 weeks turned into 2 years. I had worked at the University of Pretoria, and also towards the end of the year, when I realized that I was going to drop out, I had now found another job at the Fabi Center. Thanks to, there's a lady, I forgot her name. I know that her name was Nyoni. we were working at the Fabi Lab. I'll also insert a picture of it here. And how I got that job was that we both applied, my friend and I, Mregza. Mregza got the job, I didn't get the job. Then Mregza resigned at the job and he said, this is not something that I intend on doing. It's not something that I can do every day. And after I had heard Mregza talking about the fact that now he had resigned from the job, and I approached him and to say, can I go and ask for a job? And he said, I don't know. And guess what I did? Knowing very well that I'm now dropping out, it was around November. I knew that I was going to drop out, and I needed to make a plan to make some money, to make sure that I gather enough funds for me to have something going on for me when I drop out of the University of Pretoria. So I approached the Fabi Lab and I said, I know Mregza was working here and he had left the job. Can I get the job? They said no. I had sent multiple emails after that, and eventually I got the job and I started working there up until November, December. And I did not tell anyone about dropping out of the University of Pretoria. It was a decision that I had to make on my own, and it was a very difficult conversation that I had to have with myself, because I had to be very honest with myself. And just to summarize some of the things that I've also learned, university is not for everyone, let's be honest. It is good that you are there to learn life experiences and to make all the valuable connections and networks and meet all the beautiful people that you're going to come across at the university. Also, if you're a first year student, make sure that you stay in a res that is only for boys if you're a boy. Do not stay in a private accommodation, because there is a lot that can go unnoticed. If you are staying in a university residence, there is so much discipline that is instilled, because you are going to have your house hackers that are going to guide you guys, help you study, and you are going to form study groups that are going to help you and benefit you. Please do not try and always look fresh each and every single day. It is not a walkway. It is not a fashion contest. University is a place to study. Do not fall into the trap of wanting to look fresh each and every single day, because you will be pressurizing yourself to spend money on buying clothes. My other tip is that you are going to come across so many people that use an iPhone. If you are still using a Mobicel, it's okay. Do not feel pressurized. And it is okay for you to be unique and different. Do not be pressurized into doing that. And also choose the right course. And sometimes you wouldn't necessarily know if it is the right course for you up until you go into that actual course and you start doing it. And those are the things that I've also learned after dropping out, guys. And I am honestly happy that I've also dropped out, because had I been there, guys, I would have been very miserable. And for me, guys, Mthweni Peterson, I really appreciate it. It has been nice. All the best to the class of 2025, guys. Go there and break a leg. It is your first year. Make sure that you behave like a first year. Don't go there, go Josie, please be very careful. All the best. Focus in class, guys. Welcome to Walk That Talk.